Welcome back to Bump 200. It's a cigar man. World's fastest Bumpercar update. Now after that precision drilling, there's our plate in place. A little bit wobbly, I haven't tightened it up fully. And now we can work out where this is going to go. Oh, it's tight, isn't it? Right on the end then, basically. Okay. Yeah, the answer is there, right there. Slightly to the left. Glad it's stressing to the left for a right-hand driver, that's good. And to mark those holes, it's our usual chopstick trick. If you haven't seen that before, all will become apparent. Ta-da! Lined up with laser precision. Job done. Now we've just got to bolt it up. 4 M5s of appropriate length. Some nylock nuts, because we do not want this mofo coming undone. And there she is. Another double check on the bottom end. Lovely in that little tunnel there at the bottom of the engine. Nice. Now I can smoke the rest of that cigar. Well earned, I would say. So why have we gone to all this trouble? Well, same number of universal joints, right? But less waggle and more wiggle. Wiggle room for adjustment and none of that whole flailing around underneath, which we have to control. So all in all, a good move. Thanks Chuck for all the extra work, but well worth it. So I'm having to drill this out the hard way with that rather than that, because I can't clamp that into there. Slow process, bear with me. I'm not kidding, because obviously the drill bit gets quite hot, so it's like 2 minutes at a time, if that. Well, I've actually given up on this, not least of all because I was down at IDR at the weekend, and I thought it was easier to get them to put that on the lathe. And now the standard 15mm fits perfectly. So yes, another spare mutilated universal joint. Yes, we're measuring again with the aid of some chopsticks, and we've established that it's 6 3/4 inches, plus an inch either end to fit into the universal joint. So it's about there. And as before, we've done away with the little grub screw. We've drilled through the actual shaft itself and got a proper bolt in there. It's a little bit long, so might shorten that off a bit. One steering shaft in place, not hooked up yet in terms of this. I haven't actually tightened that up, but we have movement. Beautiful. Finally, eh? Now all we've got to do is sort out the steering column itself, and I've got some ideas using our spare steel angled slabs. So the minor issue that we now have is that the sleeve on the universal joint is just a little bit too long, because what I want to do is poke it, bolt all the way through the shaft on the steering box, like we have a chopstick on top, which has allowed me to maneuver it around. So we need to shave a bit off the end there, and then that will line up. And once we got that lined up, we'll put it in the straight forward position, which looks like that, i.e. the chopstick is now pointing forward. And then we bolt this end of it up, and then we mark where we've got to drill through the front end of the shaft for that boy there. Not out of the woods yet. Complicated, this bumper car building. Perfect. We now have a bolt almost all the way through. Got to drill a hole in the other side. So that's that bit done. Sorted. Alright, it's all coming together. More chopsticks, and marked up that front end of the shaft. And we've got the steering column in place. We'll come back to that in a minute. And yeah, we've got a bit of an issue here. So that end of the bolt just misses the bottom of the motor, but the other end not so much, so we're gonna have to shave a bit off that. Anyway, there's the steering column, a little bit high obviously, and very very close to the rev counter. Yeah, but so what? So that's alright. We're going to obviously have to adjust the length of it, which will involve putting the seat in, sitting in it, seeing what it feels like. We are getting there. If at first you don't succeed, try something completely different. And actually looking at it, it might not be that much too high, because if you remember, we're going to use these handlebars mounted like that off the gutsy, so that's kind of in the right place. Yeah, probably, possibly, who knows. So a little bit more on that next time. I think that's it for today. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, subscribe down here somewhere, and give the video the thumbs up. I'm going to get on with the rest of that steering malarkey and have it ready for next time. And we'll look at the handlebars maybe. And of course, encourage others to watch my lunacy.